Alright, welcome back. This is episode 35. So I looked it up, and as it turns out, I misremembered. You do not get spirit healer from talking to Wynn. She just happens to be a spirit healer. You do get Templar from talking to Alistair, though. Um, you actually get it from a manual, which you can either buy from Levy Dryden or a shop in Denerim. Costs 12 to 15 gold, but it's obviously not in his inventory since we already have unlocked it in a previous playthrough. So in that case, what I'm just going to do is next time I hit that level, I'll go ahead and take it since I may as well have bought the manual from Levy Dryden a couple episodes back. And I was thinking maybe I should like put aside the 12 gold and like or waste it somehow, but it's just gold, so that'd be kind of I don't know, 12 gold in the big scheme of things is kind of pointless. And I did unlock it on a previous save, which is how the game works and how the game is supposed to work, so it's not really cheating. If we wanted to say like lore wise, we could even say Levy just taught him it or gave it for free for thanks for saving the keep. Anyway, let's real quick just talk to everybody. Just like one little thing. Not a whole conversation like last time, and then we'll head to meet the elves.
What do you wish of me?
Let's ask
If you
her.
must.
Like shapeshifters, she teaches others, I believe. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
So you can flirt with her. Let's see. I really haven't thought too much about the romances in this game. There are four romanceable characters. Her, Liliana, Zevran, and Alistair. And they actually did a really nice even job between the sexes. Each uh, each sex of main character can pursue three of the four companions. So a male could do the two girls, and then Zevran. A female could do the two guys, and then Liliana. It's basically Liliana and Zevran are bisexual, and then Morgan and Alistair are straight. Um, I don't know. I think the first time I played it, I romanced Liliana. It's hard to remember. I might not have romanced anybody. I think it was her. So we'll probably do that again. I think these two would, I mean, they're both mages, which would be pretty awesome. They could have lots of powerful mage babies, but I think on the whole, they're probably not the best fit. So they say opposites attract, so maybe we'll go with that. Anyway, all that gets to, I'm glad you think so.
And I am glad you are so glad. My mother has been hunted from time
All
to
right.
time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us.
This is
Flemeth
true.
would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Um, Surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Um, do you still think that was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think
Makes
that it was
sense.
necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
Um, Interesting. I don't really like any of these choices because absolutely there are things worse than death. There are, but letting a bunch of Templars come and kill you is not really. I wouldn't recommend that either. I don't want to sound like I'm siding with the Templars. Um, but also, you're probably right. probably in that anyway. Um, I also don't like having no opinion though either. God, these all suck. Yeah, I guess I'll say she's probably right.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
I think as a mage, she'd probably understand a bit. All right, so that was her conversation. Let's talk to Stan once.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome.
So will you tell me why you were caged?
I caged myself. A weak mind is
Really?
a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
Exactly what happened.
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
What happened to the other Quinari?
I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
You probably dropped it on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
And then?
I killed them. With my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
That's terrible.
I know I cannot justify what I have done. My honor is forfeit. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
How can your people possibly think that way?
We know
Does
who
seem
we
extreme.
are, and what we are meant to be.
So that's it? You aren't going to do anything about it?
What would you have me do? It could be anywhere by now.
Where did you fight the Darkspawn?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Well, let's go find it.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Ah, so we have... I think each one of these people has their own personal quest. And that stands. That's pretty cool. So we'll have to do that later on, though.
Something on your mind? Of course.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
I thought Templars were heavy plate mostly. I actually have one of these, but oh, I'm gonna do the second one actually. In that case, you should have become a mage.
Oh, you aren't kidding. I think the Templar uniforms are as colourful as they are just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. Last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right?
Seems like that might happen anyway.
Oh, ow, ow. Stab wounds to the pride are the worst. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I'll say I really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair.
Yep.
All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
I think I understand.
Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding. The sword training and religious doctrine all came later. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
I could say the Circle of Magi. Yeah, I'll say that. The Circle of Magi was my home for a long time.
But it's not your home anymore, right?
True.
You can never go back for good. I think I understand.
Not sure
how
I'd
you
want to.
feel. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Sounds good. They put a lot of voice acting to this game. How about you, Zevran?
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
So you have to be a murderer.
Now, it need not be thought of so crudely. We all do our share of murdering around here, don't we? An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
You always use poison, then?
I do. It is not something inherent in an assassin's skills, however, merely something complementary. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
Alrighty. Oh, he disapproves. Huh. Alright. Liliana last, besides the dog.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Hopefully not another long story. Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other
The
cities
capital, I
where the
think.
people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Never been to Orlais.
If you get the chance, you should see it, at least Val Royeaux. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs. And shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is
Of course
very
not.
fashionable. Almost ridiculously so. But the shoes. Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Let's see. I'm gonna say. I'll just be nice and ask, were they ridiculous shoes?
Sometimes. About 10 years ago, all the ladies went mad for shoes with soles as large and heavy as bricks.
Oh,
But it isn't always that silly. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Reminds me of that episode of I Love Lucy where they wore the potato sacks when they were in France. And if you haven't watched I Love Lucy, you should. One of the greatest comedies there ever was. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna say, wouldn't that be hard to walk in?
I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room, perfect. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden.
Yeah, yeah.
Just look at them.
They're comfortable.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but
Please
we have
don't.
things to do, don't we?
Yes, we do. No, not even a change. All right. How you doing, Duncan?
Ugh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack.
He wags his tail.
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Sure about that. Say, let's see. It's the thought that counts. He means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
All good choices. Yeah, I'm gonna tease her a bit. It was a gift. You can't just throw it away like that.
I just did.
Oh, poor Duncan.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Oh. I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
That's cute. All right. Oh, Shale. We'll talk to Shale later. That's been enough talking. I want to go see the elves, don't you guys? I'm sure you do. That's why you're watching. All right, let's go see the elves. So we took Morgan last time. I don't know if we don't actually need a mage though. Guess we haven't really used Alistair in a while, have we? Or did we use him when we were in Honolulu? I don't remember. We'll use Zathrian because he's actually an elf, even though he's a different kind of elf. Let's use Alistair and Sten. Sure, why not? Alright, to the Brazilian outskirts. I feel like we're going to be intercepted again because it is quite a long route. But we'll see. I'm not sure the length of the route actually has anything at all to do with it. It probably doesn't. Nope. I guess we made it. I was wrong. Alrighty.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
Well, I can use persuasion, but I'm just going to say I'm a Grey Warden. I wish to speak with your leader. Take me to your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
I have documents, but I'm going to say persuade. You have to take my word on it.
I suppose that a lie wouldn't gain you much benefit. I shall bring you to the Keeper. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
Seems typical with wood elves. They're always trying to shoot you from the trees.
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
I had totally forgotten about this guy. This is weird, because some parts of this game I remember fairly vividly, and some just... I don't know, it's buried deep within there. The Keeper, does that mean you're in charge here?
I guide my fellow Dalish, and they follow my word out of respect. But I would still prefer to know with whom I am speaking.
Does it call me Aravail?
If you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had already sensed its corruption. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
So their first reaction to trouble is to flee from it. Curious.
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me.
I wonder how long the elves live in this game. Is it longer than humans or just about the same? They don't look too good.
The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
There are actual werewolves in the forest?
There was a time in Ferelden's history when werebeasts roamed the lands in great numbers. Spirits possessed animals and turned them into horrific monsters. The humans warred against and destroyed these creatures. No doubt their tales of those days grow ever more inaccurate. The werebeasts are not all gone from this land, and the ones that stalk the Brazilian forests are proof of this.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself, and that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
Well, luckily I specialize in no trivial tasks. Hey, that's basically the line. I am good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
Let's see. You said you could perhaps destroy the curse?
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
Then I will find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see.
Sounds
Where
exciting.
there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead.
Oh, I'm all too familiar with
But if
that.
you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I can ask some questions.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
Alright, I probably won't exhaust all their questions, because we don't need to know all the gruesome details. But tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone.
So how did he get it? So did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, I'll become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
How do you know if somebody's been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission
Like
at
a
that
rabid
point
animal.
will be rather personal.
I see.
Go on then.
Alright.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Have fun with that. So instead of maker, they have creator. I think they actually have a pantheon of gods, if I remember correctly. Alright, so lots to do here in the elven camp. Let's start by leveling up these two, though. Did he need more strength? I don't know if he did or not, but, well, might as well give him strength, because he does need some dexterity, I seem to recall. But can't hurt to have more strength, too. Some of the best weapons and equipment in the game requires it. Hmm. Let's do two-handed strength. That sounds useful. Death Blow is good, but it requires level 12. But we're not quite there yet. I think Aravail might be, but these guys are not. Alright, so he has 2 levels. That's pretty awesome. Now, Alistair definitely needs strength to wear that Templar stuff, right? How much does he need? He needs 26. 27 for the armor itself. Ah, my cursor's acting weird. There we go. So 2 points should be enough. I kind of want to put a couple more in there just in case. Maybe make it a nice even 30. And then we'll put the rest in Constitution. How does that sound? So we might need enough strength for some of these abilities too, possibly. Maybe not. Yeah, this one needs 32 strength for Assault. But we'll get that later. First let's use, we need Dexterity too actually. Shield Balance and Shield Wall. Shield Wall is pretty good I think, right? Yeah, that's a very good defensive stance. Alright, there we go. And how's Alistair's tactics? Still defender? Yes. Alright, cool. So, let's explore the camp a bit while we're here. Hunters. Here's a chest. Let me guess.
As you like.
Yep, knew it. Ah, he has no skill with unlocking things. If I take this, they're not gonna all attack me, are they? No. Let's talk to Gaina.
Andaran Atishan, outsider.
Who are you?
I am Gaina. Is there something you need from me?
Can you answer some questions?
I'm not sure what I can tell you, but I shall try.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Zathrian? He has been our keeper since long before my parents' parents were born.
Oh, well.
What could you wish to know about him?
Well, that answers that. So, elves... Oh, I think that's right. I think Dalish Elves are very long-lived. But the, Or, see... No, I think it's... Most elves these days do not live very long. But maybe the keepers do because of magic, or they've discovered part of the old ways. I don't know. Like, I feel like part of the quest of the elves is to rediscover the, how their elders used to live so long. Although it could also be a mythical thing, like, you know, in the Bible, people lived to be 800 years and stuff. At least according to some translations. Alright, just how old is Zathrian exactly?
I don't know. Very old. It is said that Zathrian may be one of the first to become as our ancestors were long ago, immortal.
There you go. But how could that be? Why him and not others?
We all live longer than the Flat Ears, the elves who live with humans. The Keepers even more so because of their knowledge of the old ways. Why Zathrian differs from the others, I do not know. Perhaps he has been blessed by the creators.
So it might actually be plot related then. I want to ask about their gods, but I don't want to be condescending about it. You don't actually believe in those gods, do you? I'm going to say, what is a keeper exactly?
He keeps us safe, and he keeps the knowledge of our people safe, so we may bring it to all of our people one day.
Interesting system. Bring it to all of your people.
To the Flat Ears, those who live with the humans. When we have a new homeland to settle in, we shall teach all elves the ways they have forgotten.
What knowledge is that exactly?
The ways of our ancestors, of course. From the time of our Lathan, before the human empire enslaved our people.
Alright.
What is that?
I don't really have any more
May the creators
questions.
bring you fortune.
Thank you, Gina. Nice meeting you. Oh, elf childs. Oh, they're just like human children, but with pointy ears. Wow. Alright. There's some elf fruit. Huh, that's appropriate.
Very well.
Some more. This is the path to the woods, I think.
It has begun.
I don't want to head out quite yet, though. There are a couple other quests and things to pick up around the camp. And a codex entry about one of the elven gods. Mother of the Hala. Alright, let's talk to Laura.
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the Hala, I did not hear your approach.
What is a Hala?
They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravail. What humans call land ships. They are our companions and our guides.
They are not your mounts?
We ride the Hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the Hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravail with them. In return, it's the herder's job to speak to the Hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship, and not servitude.
This all seems like so typically like romanticized elven. So why have you separated this one from the others?
I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand. The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal. And it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery. For her sake, as well as that of the others.
Oh. I think you need to have a high awareness, which I don't think I do. Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful.
Maybe my herbalism could do something? Survival. I can try to calm her, but I don't think I have enough survival to make that work. And it has to be your character, it can't be your companions.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. She isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.
Alright. Nothing more I can do.
I am glad you attempted it regardless. I will watch her for a while longer and see if her condition changes. I am grateful for your assistance, friend.
Yeah, new quest. Unfortunately, we probably will never complete that one. And it will stay in our log forever, because I don't think I'm ever going to get the survival skill. But possibly if we fill up everything else, but that just seems unlikely. Considering mages don't get a ton of skills. Really, only rogues do. But that's okay. Alright, let's see what else we have around the camp. Oh, can I not get up here? I guess not. Maybe I can go around this way? Or is this really a dead end? Oh, the terrain in this game. It's very annoying. I've heard Inquisition, the third game of the series, is actually a lot more open-ended. Kind of like Skyrim. So we'll see if that's true or not. I expect it is. Another chest that Zathrian can open. It'll be a nice change of pace for a Bioware game, that's for sure. Well, lots of good stuff here. Can use those. I keep waiting for the elves to be like, stop stealing our stuff, and all attack me, but I don't think they do.
It shall be done.
There's another entry on one of their gods. Some death root. And there's Mithra is the lady who welcomed me to the camp. Also a crafting material in SWTOR. I guess Bioware likes the sound of certain words. Or Mithra might actually be a real material. I wouldn't really know. It does sound like Mithril a bit, which is, of course, colored inks. Oh, about the tattoos, I guess. Which is something that either Tolkien invented or a word he repurposed for Lord of the Rings. Landmark tent. Oh, if you have the dog with you, he can... Yeah, you know. Anyway, Athras has a quest, so let's talk to him about it.
Andera Natishan, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
I don't mind, I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much. and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
See, so far the elves have actually been pretty nice to me, except Mithra, I guess. But forbidden you.
We are banned from entering the forest now. I have more cause than most, but I will not disobey my keeper.
Oh, I think I remember this quest. This is a cool quest. Why would you want to enter the forest?
That is a tale I am not sure I should tell an outsider. Surely you have greater concerns than my problems,
Do I
stranger.
need persuade? I do. Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Dalilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Dalilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her.
I would not allow any to keep me from my goal.
Going out there could cause another attack, and I wish no harm upon my clan.
This I understand. To hold the group over the individual is worthy. An unexpected trait in your kind.
If I could just know if Dalilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I will seek her out in the forest then.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
Alright, so we have another quest. And actually is a... Where's the guy who sells stuff? Hunter... Cameron. I remember this guy. A younger elf.
Hello?
Hello yourself. Who are you?
I'm Kamen, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
So be one and stop wishing for it.
Never mind. Just go away and leave me alone.
He seems very sensitive about something.
I told you to leave me alone.
Tell me what your problem is.
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Try me. I might surprise you.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me.
Are all these Baz such cringing, ineffectual creatures?
I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Somebody has a crush. You mean the young woman by the fire?
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and...
Well, go hunt.
Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
There must be some way to solve your problem.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
I guess you can't go into the forest because the keeper has kept them all here, but why not go into the forest anyway?
But the keeper said, no, I just can't. What if I encountered a werewolf? I couldn't defeat one of those on my own.
Why not come with me then?
The keeper would know right away if I left camp. Masiranis for the offer, however. That's very kind of you.
Look, you can't wait until you guys... I mean, you're not going to stay on the edge of a werewolf population forever. Eventually, your hunters have to hunt. So either you're going to move on, or he's going to repeal his rule. Surely you can wait a couple weeks to become a real hunter. Have you tried wooing Gaina?
Wooing? I don't understand.
A lot of options here. Have you tried giving her a gift? I'm not sure that's actually going to work, but...
A gift? No, that wouldn't be appropriate. Not before we're married.
I see. Alright, let's forget I mentioned anything then.
Yes, that's probably for the best.
So there was the offer to get him a pelt yourself, but that's not gonna, like, lying to her is not gonna help anything. Um, the other option, I guess, would be to talk to her and persuade her. Oh, Sarah, is that the storyteller? I think it is. We can talk to him later, though. Yeah, let's get Gaina's side of the story. Like, we're in this quest to save the world, and in the meantime, we are playing Elven Matchmaker.
Greetings once again.
Cameron told me about you.
You spoke to him? What did he say?
You can really mess this up with either of those two choices. He said that you refused to give him your hand.
Oh. I don't expect an outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to
Over
slay
2
a proper
years.
beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
That's interesting. I think there's actually a way that you can pursue her if you choose to do that, but that's tough, because I don't want to talk to her into a relationship where if he can't hunt, then that could cause problems for them down the road. So I assume they seem to be fairly communal here, though, so I don't think they would like want for food just because he's a bad hunter. Like, maybe he has some other skill he could be useful with. I guess the persuade choice here is pretty good, though. If you love him, it doesn't matter what he is, does it? So it still puts the choice on her that if she does really care for him, then she can overcome her reservations, and if she doesn't, then so be it. Not meant to be.
But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family?
Yeah, if you love him, then believe in him and help him succeed.
Oh, you are right. I have made poor Kamen miserable. No wonder he cannot complete his hunt. Masiranas, thank you. You have helped me put this into perspective. I will go and speak to Kamen.
Hopefully this pays off, and hopefully she's right. It is just performance anxiety. And with the confidence she gives him,
I have been a
he'll be able to
fool.
hunt.
Gaina? What do you mean? Have you changed your mind?
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my hunt?
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
Thank you,
Aw.
Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today. We are both
Yay.
very grateful for the part you've played in bringing us together.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy.
Here, take this.
She did like a full 180 in like the
For
span
a
of 2
very
minutes.
long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn.
Oh yeah, Darkspawn.
It's the very least we could do.
Shouldn't I be like out there killing those, or the werewolves, or demons? Alright, we have a new quest and it's already completed too, I think. Anyway, what do we get? Some kind of amulet, you think you said? Let's see. Maybe not. Oh, Dalish armor. That could be good for Zathrian, maybe? Or Liliana? Maybe Liliana. But we'll try that later. Alright, oh, here's another one of their god statues. And Harold, the Dread Wolf. There's been a lot of theories about him, I think, the trickster. Alright, is he now where's the guy that sells this stuff? That's Athras again. Oh, here we go. Scout's bow. That could be good, actually. What is Zathrian currently using? Antivan longbow. Already have one of these. Yeah, why not? Elf flight arrow. Yeah, sure, whatever. Alright.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Ferrothorn. I think I just used too much heat.
You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Verathorn.
And so they should. Truly the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest. Now then, please forgive my distraction, stranger. Is there something that you need?
Well, that seems like a high-pressure job. Glad he's not my boss. I'd like to barter with you.
I am no merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something here which will be of value to you.
For somebody who's not a merchant, you have a lot of merchandise. Alrighty, let's see what he has here. Weapons. Some good weapons, but I'd rather just save for that stuff. Some nice armor as well. Some stat bonuses. Oh, chastened robes. I already have those, don't I? Yeah. Elf rope. Interesting belt. I really could use some recipes, though. So I can make my own potions. Oh, a gift. It's an expensive gift, but it might... I don't know. I just like buying gifts because they're one of a kind. Greater health poultice recipe. That I could probably use. I wonder if there's somewhere I could buy it for cheaper, though. I might have to look that up afterwards. Is that it? Unlimited elf fruit. That could be useful, maybe. For making my own potions. I think that's about it for now, though. Didn't he have... I thought he was one of those sources of tomes, maybe, but I guess not. Alright. You have a quest, too, obviously.
What do you wish?
Because,
I'm the clan's craftsmaster. It's my responsibility to learn what I can of the ancient elven arts of shaping wood and ore. In truth, we Dalish know little of the art compared to what we once did. And even what we know has taken us many lifetimes to achieve. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel but far lighter. It grows only in this forest. Ironbark. The Keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come.
are you guys really going to be banned for years? Like, seriously, you can't... Like, you guys aren't vegetarians. You obviously hunt and eat meat. You can't live forever without... I don't know. Alright. Like, if there's a werewolf problem, just... See, why can't they move? I don't think you mentioned that. Whatever. Maybe it'll all make sense in time. What if I found some ironbark for you?
I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. If you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you.
What kind of item could you make?
I excel in making blades from the ironbark, or perhaps a breastplate, provided there's enough wood, that is.
Very well. I'll take a look when I'm in the forest.
That would please me, so long as our hunters come first.
Alright.
Dareth Shiro, may the creators visit fortune upon you.
Yep, same to you. And what about you?
Master Verathorn keeps us very busy. It takes many decades to master even what little we know of the old crafts.
Lots more codex entries here. Alright, so I think we've talked to mostly everybody, just the storyteller and the assistant keeper, which I believe is called a second. Now this chest, for some reason, I think he's going to get mad at me if I open. See, why do I remember that? But I do. So we're not going to open it, at least quite yet. Yeah, I think we'll probably call this the end of the episode, though. And when we come back, we'll talk to Linnea and Sorel, and then head out into the Brazilian forests. So don't miss it. I'll see you guys in a few.